A tale of missed opportunities thus far for the underdog Mike Dunn on this, the first day of the Shanghai Masters snooker. Up against former world #1 and defending champion John Higgins. Dunn has had golden opportunities to take the first two frames, but it's Higgins who enjoys a two-frame cushion. He's 3 away from a place in the next round, and a great fight back from Higgins in the previous frame. 58 points adrift. The Reds far from ideally positioned. He played a wonderful shot to release a couple of the awkward Reds and eventually chipped himself away at that deficit and managed to steal the frame on the final black. Didn't intend to catch the mid-pocket bumper, however. But Mike Dunn will know that he's had the opportunities and he simply hasn't been able to put the frames away. Sometimes you don't get them with a player like Higgins. One good opening red and he can clear up and there's nothing you can do, but it hurts so much more when the chances have been in your hands and you've let them slip. So it's a mental battle now for Dunn to keep believing. Just the one meeting between this pair in the past. Higgins whitewashing Mike Dunn. That was in a PTC event back in 2011. Another Hawkeye view here after that good safety from Higgins. Well, there's nothing wrong with Mike Dunn's long potting today. He's managed to sink some really good balls from distance. He has struggled with his positional play, however, getting the pace of this lightning fast cloth. And this is a very thin cut. 115 degrees. Whether that enlightens you or not, I don't know, but there we go. Well, there you see how thin it was, careering into the Reds, and look where the green's gone. Unbelievable. Well, he hasn't enjoyed a lot of luck, it has to be said. He's gone in off a couple of times. One of those days, Mike. I think you must have got out of bed the wrong side.
Well, I think I'd get a taxi back to the hotel. I wouldn't walk back.
I think even the crowd can see the funny side. I don't think Mike Dunn's laughing, but it's all going horribly wrong for him right now.
It's a crazy game at times, isn't it? John's had the nice kiss there just down the black. You know, you just sometimes you stand out there, you think you could be there all day. You just think it's not going to happen today.
Well, it was a wonderful long red to get in.
And
he played the thin cut on the black, opening up the bunch of reds very nicely, only to see the green disappear.
This still needs potting though. Oh, well, that was a mile away.
Yes, it's not as though Higgins has been on fire. Wonderful positional shot in the previous frame, as I mentioned, to release the awkward reds, which helped get him back into that one, but he has missed a few as well.
Well, on fire, Steve Maguire. He's in the same quarter. If he comes through and John Higgins, it would be an All Scottish quarter final. He's got Zhao Yudong, but there's Matthew Stevens there and Ali Carter. And Mark Davis against Ali Carter. Let's not forget Mark Davis has just won the 6 Reds Championship in Thailand, so he's full of confidence and he's going to give Ali Carter a bit of a challenge there, I'm sure.
Retaining his title, of course. Back-to-back 6 red triumphs for Davis, who's playing the best snooker of his life, now into his 40s. Ali Carter, of course, wonderful to hear that he's beaten his battle with testicular cancer, and great to see him back on the table where he belongs. So lots to look forward to in Shanghai this week. Oh, that sounded like a heavy contact. Couldn't do any damage.
Well, I know it's only the 3rd frame, but really Mike Dunn has to put this frame on the board. If he loses this one as well, this could become 5-0. 2-1, he's back in this.
7.
He did contemplate retirement earlier this year, Mike Dunn, before deciding to press on. Had some back trouble as well a while back, which forced him to alter his stance. That must have been a setback.
Yeah, and his prize money last season was only £1,500. It was against John Higgins, who made 240. I mean, John's made over £6 million on the table. I mean, Mike's been, what, pro 22 years? Just under 300,000. There's a big gulf between these two players, and in every aspect, of course. And, you know. But as I've said, Mike he's one of those players. He's dangerous. If you don't bring a good game to the table, he can certainly beat you.
$23. $24.
As Mike mentioned earlier, one or two other matches ongoing with Ryan Day of Wales, 1-0 to the good against the home favourite Lu Ning. Zhao Xintong has taken the first frame against Martin Gould. Dave Gilbert is 1-0 to the good against Fang Xiaongman.
I'm going to leave those to you.
I thought you might. It's very kind of you. Very considerate. So much talent, though, up and coming in China. And the wildcard round affords the opportunity to get a glimpse of the potential stars of the future, and in turn gives them an opportunity to taste the big time. Can be a real baptism of fire, and you need a lot of confidence to be able to bring your practice game to the table when you're inexperienced in front of a crowd and playing a top player. Steep learning curve, Mike.
It is. You know, it could take you 2 or 3 years just to settle into the ranks. So at least now they've given you get a 2-year exemption. I mean, when it was just 1 year, it was impossible to stay on, really. From sort of, well, that was tucked in the corner, but you know, to go from 96, when it was 96, it's 128 now, but it was 96 to 64, and that was virtually impossible in 1 season. But now it's a 2-year exemption, so you know, you can put yourself into a good position the first year and then consolidate your position in the second year. So you should stay on. If you're good enough, you should stay on. Well, if you don't stay on after 2 years, well, I'm afraid you deserve probably to come off.
Can you remember how you felt when you first walked out in front of the TV cameras for your first professional match?
Shaking. I think it was the UK actually, 1980, something like 79, 80 I think it was. I turned pro in 79, so I think it would have been 80 at the Guildhall in Preston.
One of the great snooker venues.
Yeah, played Patsy Fagan there, and then I played really well, beat Patsy there in the first round, and I played Steve Davis in the second round.
Nice easy draw then.
Yeah. Well, I've made 4 good breaks in the first 4 frames, and I was 4-0 down. And I thought, oh, this is Steve Davis then, is it? Because he was just a machine, wasn't he?
Time for a career change.
Well, I played well to beat Patsy Fagan. I won 9-4, and I thought, Steve Davis, bring it on. I soon found out who he was.
Patsy wasn't too shabby either,
Absolutely.
Was he? Former UK champion himself.
Yeah. Of course, when you're a young kid and you're up and coming, you're full of confidence, aren't you? There's that cockiness about you and all that, and you think, come on then, let's have it. But
and you did.
Well, Steve Davis was just a different class. And the rest is history. And of course, certain Mr. Hendry came along and raised the bar once more.
Davis is still going. Hendry, of course, has hung up his cue. Another stupendous long pot from Mike Dunn. You've got to wonder how he's 2-0 behind, but he's got a great opportunity again to get a frame on the board.
Great red, but he still needs another colour. He's only 50 points the lead with 51 on, so does he take this green on? He's taken the brown on. That also is frame ball.
Big shot this then for the underdog. And it goes, well cued. I'm sure he played the brown because he knew that if he'd missed it, He wasn't risking leaving Higgins 61 with a gettable red, but he now needs a snooker, does the 4 times world champ. And pressure off. 62. Mike Dunn closes out the frame. Well, he certainly deserves to have a frame on the board.
Well, this has been a good contribution, really. As you said, Phil, before, he could have won frames 1 and 2.
Should have done, arguably.
But this should give him a little lift in confidence.
And perhaps beginning to find the pace of the table now, which will help.
67.
It's been a good break, though, to put the disappointment of the manner in which he lost the first 2 frames out of his mind with a frame-winning break like this. That shows some character.
I think you might see John Higgins give this next frame, though, his full attention to make it 3-1 at the interval.
Mike Dunn 74 on the frame.
The highest break of the match so far then goes to the underdog Mike Dunn, who's got a frame on the board, and he's geeing himself up as well. He knows he should be in front in this match, but at least he's back in the mix. John Higgins leads by 2 frames to 1.